And I believe we are live again.
Yeah,
so
we're
for
back.
Game 2 of Vodortron versus Kimchi Boys.
Yeah, Kimchi Boys now over on the blue side. They're speed running through this ban phase. Rumble and Orm banned for Kimchi Boys. Vodortron's banning Akali and Rise, not wanting to deal with it. Big win condition for Kimchi Boys that last game, so that's being banned out. Aurelia still being banned out again, just kind of targeting as much as they can from Rodov, and then Silas is being banned as well now for Vodortron and Pix.
Yeah. This time Sett left open. They are going to hover the Rek'Sai, but Sett was banned last time, and that is, as far as I'm concerned, the strongest blue side first pick in the game right now. It is just so good in the top lane. It's so good as a flex pick, and they are going to go for the Rek'Sai, though. Really loving that presence he was able to get last game.
Yeah, just stay in comfort. Don't break what seems to be working. Maokai right now being picked for the top lane, likely. I've seen some Maokai supports, actually. It's pretty dank. But anyway, Varus is going to be the AD carry here for Vodortron. They're going to be able to grab that one away this time. As while it wasn't like completely popping off over their side, that Varus was a problem. So they're going to be able to take it for themselves.
There's so much damage, yeah, and that's one of those sneaky champions where Rise kind of gets the executes, but Varus did. If we could see damage charts, I think we would definitely be valuing that Varus pretty highly. The dank moss of Maokai definitely going to the top lane. That is a Din's special. I saw it twice in scrims when I was watching them the other day, so I'm almost sure that's top lane. And we do see the Sett to answer, which it's scary, man. Cozy Shroud likely going to be on that, or Yunbee. Either one of them is going to be fearsome on that champion.
Yeah, and that's the thing, too. You probably are picking the Maokai and realizing you're going to be going up against the Sett, and you do that and are okay with that because you're just going to, like, just don't feed the Sett your Maokai, and then you're fine, right? Like, you just kind of can get into the late game. You should be fine if you're DINZBAG there. You can plan to pull that off here, but Kimchi Boys will answer over the other side. They'll pick up the Taric, which is an interesting support pick without kind of your bot lane pick with you, so that actually opens up a lot of potential different strategies they might go for. It'll be very interesting to see what Vodortron end up deciding to ban. Meanwhile, Lulu is going to be the support, or you know what, that's pretty much a flex pick these days too, for Vodortron as well. So we'll see where that enchanter goes once we're kind of actually in the rift. But you know, a solid pick. I think Lulu's actually in a pretty decent state.
Yeah, I like this from Vodortron. These champions that really only come online in the early game, that's the Elise style, Renekton style picks. It's so hard to make that work, and you just, if you don't get ahead, you saw what happens. Even if they make good plays in the mid game, you just get outscaled. And so I like the idea of a Varus Maokai coming in, Lulu to keep the Varus safe.
Yeah.
As we do see the Jarvan ban over on Kimchi Boy's side, and LeBlanc and Cassiopeia targeting Yunbee over on Vodortron's side.
And I think those are super smart bans. Not even just because Yunbee is such a good player on them, but like even if you took off nameplates, I think that's a super smart ban for where they're kind of going in there, because those are LeBlanc can just like kind of melt anyone, and Cassiopeia, again, if Kimchi Boy showed, hey, they know how to play good scaling, you remove that one of the best scaling mid laners out there, and that's gone. So good bans there. Elise will be banned out by Kimchi Boys this time around, so Vodortron will have to be playing a different jungler over there, but Olaf is what they're going to end up picking there. And right now they have a very straightforward, we're going to run at you and we're going to fight you, which we've seen Vodortron wants to do that.
Yeah, and in this case, you've got Varus backing you up, which obviously doesn't provide the same utility in teamfights as Sivir, but he does have that stun and he has that scaling. And so I really like this from Vodortron so far. I'm surprised at the Elise ban. You're not imagining MaGeRdAnGeR is going to be really stumped by that, and once again picks a really great early game jungler who can easily challenge the Rek'Sai in those early game invades if he goes for it. Ezreal coming through to answer the Varus, a very safe pick as well.
There you go, Syndra. Yeah, Syndra usually a pretty good blind pick mid laner. Very interesting to see what Vodortron's going to pick up. Normally, like this would be like a LeBlanc or something you want to pick there, but of course they banned it themselves. So we'll see what they want to do there.
5 mid picks.
Yeah, they're really trying to get. Well, and to be fair, Yunbee might be the best player in our league.
I think there's a good chance.
It might be like, there's a good chance that Yunbee might be the best player. At very least by solo queue rank, Yunbee is.
Yes,
so,
there's like
you want
3 or 4 challengers, and he's the highest ranked of them. So yeah.
There's
the Aphelios, which I like. I like this idea. Oh wait, hang on.
So that changes things. That means that there is likely in the mid lane.
It could be.
Yeah.
Okay. Or it could be Aphelios.
It could be Aphelios.
I've seen this in some, like, I don't know who's going to be playing it though. I guess Rodov. This is a very interesting draft, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we're used to seeing Rodov on those bruisers, on those people frontline and taking you down. But like, you know what? He's playing either Varus or Aphelios here, and it'll be very interesting where he goes. Or maybe he fucks the top lane down and picks the Maokai. I feel doubtful on that because I think you want Rodov to be your carry.
DINZBAG's playing
Yeah,
Aphelios.
we'll have to wait. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see when we get into the rift there. But interesting draft here. Put it there, Vodortron. Right now, they're kind of our like cool team. You know what I mean? Like they're picking some cool picks, and I'm excited to see what's kind of going there. Meanwhile, Kimchi boys do have a very scary team fight, and well, big shields from Sett. Taric's gonna make you immortal for a little bit. It's exciting stuff.
Oh man, what a spicy draft from Vodortron. Just want to quickly point out we have reached 100 viewers on the Twitch stream. Thank you all so much for joining in for our first day of the Manitoba Esports League. We have such an exciting matchup, such a spicy matchup here.
Yeah, exactly. So thank you for all for watching. Stay tuned with it. We're going to go for a little bit of the competitive integrity delay, 3 minutes for us here. So we'll wait on that. We'll go to a quick break and we'll come back where we have Kimchi boys fighting Vodortron. We'll see if Vodortron can fight back and go for the reverse sweep, or if it's going to be just a clean one for Kimchi. I'm excited to find out.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Play best of threes like we should, LCS. I'm looking at you. Should play best of threes. We're doing it because we're the better league. And we're pretty happy about it.
We're going to close the gap between Manitoba Esports League and LCS in no time. Because we're going to have in-house scrims, we're going to do best of threes, and we're going to play some league, man.
Yeah. We're going to deal with whatever ping we got and be happy with it because we're hungry and we want to be cool like Mad Lions is and get an all-rookie team.
Exactly.
Let's get the Kimchi boys in the LCS eventually. That's what we're going for, everybody. Anyway, they're just playing line of scrimmage because this is less of a hype start than last game. But you know what? That's okay. It's okay sometimes.
We did mention this in the Twitch chat, but the Aphelios pick was just a big old bait, and we just fell for it hook, line, and sinker. It actually was just a glitch in the pro draft that they are using. So that is going to be the Malzahar.
It is
Rodov
Malzahar.
on Malzahar duty, and so
no hype. Aphelios mid, just Malzahar.
Oh man, now I'm gonna make a deal with them that now they have to play Aphelios mid at least once.
At some point, I'd be happy.
They owe us, right?
Yeah, I mean, I could see him playing some sort of champion that as they trade over here in the mid lane. Like, how much more hype would actually that trade would have been garbage if that was Spears. And it was still garbage anyway, as Yunbee did do more damage here. We are finally getting the 1v1 that we wanted, though, as we do see Yunbee and Rodov going up against each other. So, well, monitor that as that goes along. It'll be really hype if someone gets a solo kill at some point. But right now, they're just kind of doing kind of the early stuff, and nothing is kind of going crazy here. Do watch, of course, that 3-minute mark and see where these kind of junglers go for. They do have good early game junglers on both sides, so we'll see where that first gank is going to be one to be spent.
Yeah, if these two junglers meet up in the jungle, Olaf has the advantage. But in terms of ganking, Rek'Sai definitely able to provide more crowd control and more utility to his team. So we want to see that Olaf power farming. We do the synergy that there is on this team is Olaf with Lulu. That is just such a crazy mid-game approach to team fights. If Olaf just charges in, gets that Lulu ult, knocks them all up, just so dangerous. For the Kimchi boys, they're going to really have to be watching out for that. As Yunbee definitely getting the better of Rodov in this mid lane currently, though. Already 6 CS up, already having waves pushed into the turret. And that's to be expected for Syndra early, for the first few levels in particular. Syndra so strong. One of the strongest mage picks in the game right now is Syndra. And Malzahar is there. Everybody knows that Malzahar is there, and it's to press that R button.
And to be fair, eventually, even though it's not there early on, eventually really way fair. You know, JUSTNXTIME seeing a lot of free damage over here. About to is actually trying to jump in there, but it actually gets himself into a little bit of trouble. Going for the flash, going for the big play, the Chad support play, but will go down. Owner's going to be able to pick up that though. It will trade on a kill over here. We do have a teleport come down here. DINZBAG is now here, but now he's just in a world of hurt and a world of trouble. We'll try to flash away, but Cozy Shroud will use a flash as well. Sett will try to get a punch in there, but he will just finally get out. It ends up being a 1-for-1. but a ton of summoners committed over here right now for Vodortron to try to get over to that.
Yeah, a really ambitious flash. As MaGeRdAnGeR goes in.
MaGeRdAnGER flashing right back in. The fight continues. It goes on. Owner, though, will pick up another one. Second kill of the game already. And Ezreal is going to be real strong already. And nice early lead here for Kimchi boys.
Oh man, I was ready to be like, oh, this jungle path is interesting. You know, we got some interesting rotations. Nope, 3 kills already, 4 minutes in. And yeah, those 2 teleports spent by the top laners. And Cozy Shroud, that flash after DINZBAG was just, I don't know what he was thinking. Like, he didn't have any crowd control available at all. And just we wasted his flash for nothing. But still, Kimchi boys do come out ahead in that exchange. Both teleports used, obviously, for the top laners, so no advantage gained there. And so the only saving grace here is that I believe that first blood did go to Lulu. Am I correct about that? Or was it Ezreal who ended up securing that first blood?
My brain has to think. I kind of forget already. But About2 meanwhile is getting into a little bit of trouble. But what I kind of like, okay, I've casted a few games with About2 too in them, and what I love about him is that he's a pure Chad support. Like you saw, you're playing Lulu. Like you're just supposed to be, I'm gonna heal my guy, and then eventually ult, and you're gonna be in someone's pocket. The About2 says no, I'm still playing like a Chad and goes for it. Again, it probably wasn't actually correct, but I love to see it.
The same playstyle on every single champion, no matter which one.
Exactly.
That's great. A lot of damage goes down onto DINZBAG, but yeah, we're going to keep an eye on Abu. I'm definitely expecting him to be the player of the game in some of these matches with these engages. I mean, it's, you know, it's got to work out at some point, right? That's that aggression. Not everybody's always going to expect it. You can't.
Always forward always.
Yes.
Right? Am I right? That's about you two.
That's what Zinjao says.
About, yeah. I've actually planned to make shirts that says always flash forward. That's kind of what I want. Kind of
Do you put flash on D or F, Johnny?
D. D is for flash.
Okay. Well, you know, we will talk about that later.
Although About2 disagrees with me, but whatever.
That's true. And we do see this game state here. The dragon did go down in favor of Vodortron there. That was MaGeRdAnGER. Olaf in particular is so good at taking early dragons. He can take them if he really wants to. Ooh, DINZBAG, lots of damage there. But
yeah, DINZBAG questionably kind of goes in on top of Cozy Shroud. Sett's just gonna do that to you. You kind of just can't. I know it's
exactly.
like frustrating to just kind of be sitting on their tower and just like being able to do with it, and it's now being poked down over here.
Speaking of
possibly
frustrating.
Gonna get that. Possibly gonna get dove.
Yeah.
Hit by 9-6. They're pushing the lane.
Shroud's
now tanking 9-6 to go for it. He's gonna knock him up. Does hit him with that Q. He's doing a good job of stalling this as long as possible, but a very successful dive there for the Kimchi.
Perfect by Cozy Shroud. That guy has done that before many times. Like he knew exactly how much damage he could take from those turret hits. Took exactly as much as he needed to. They get the kill. They get out. So DINZBAG being focused again, very frustrating for him. Yunbee completely out of mana here, so that is going to be already Rodov getting that Malzahar push available, and with those Voidlings really able to apply pressure to this tower, if not to Syndra herself. So that's
I'm getting a couple, you know, got the CS lead and a couple plates, like, or almost a couple plates anyway, and that's basically like he got a kill, like he. Like more or less.
In fact, it's a little bit more valuable than a kill, I would say.
Yeah, exactly. So we kind of got that. It's almost like you got a solo kill, and I mean, you know, obviously Yunbee putting on the pressure between those first couple levels here, but Rodov showing that like he knows when he can start pushing and when he can start going for it, and you know gets a little bit of an early advantage there. So again, that 1v1 is super interesting to keep up on, and yeah, Rodov now has the CS lead.
Yeah, that competitive experience really can't be overstated. While someone like Cozy Shroud or Yunbee may be higher ranked currently, having played on stage in an LCS environment, there's nothing can, you know, replicate that. No amount of solo queue experience can replicate that, and it really is valuable. I really believe that it makes you such a better player when you've had that experience. So, Rodov showing that right now as. Vodortron also able to collapse on this bottom tower and get a plate there.
Yeah, they're just
And 2 plates, it looks like.
yeah. What we're kind of currently seeing, and we saw in game 1, and it's kind of a little bit playing out in this game too. We'll obviously have to keep watching it. Is that like, I feel like overall Kimchi boys might have the better individual players. Again, it is kind of proven just in their solo queue rank, but
Yep.
Vodortron are playing really well as a team. Like again, the last game where they lost, they did go for a fight that like they kind of had to go for, and
They were
did
coordinated.
They
Yeah.
were kind of going there. Like you see that all there, and if they can kind of like bring this together, they're a super strong team, and they're kind of matching this over here. The Rift Herald, meanwhile, was going to be used over here in the top lane. It's probably just gonna get a couple plates here, so they're kind of even up there. They do have the gold lead. Another dive coming over to AM DINZBAG. 9-6 just is camping his lane. He's trying to go for that. He's kind of doing a pretty good job of staying alive as long as possible, though. Aldrei will pick up a kill in the bot lane, meanwhile, as that is all happening. But Cozy Shroud will clean up over there in the top lane. So
Remember, kids,
Oh, owner though.
bullying is wrong.
Yeah.
That's what's happening to DINZBAG right now. As I am owner sends out the ult, tries to dissuade his own self from being tower dived. Yeah, that is not appropriate high school behavior up in the top lane there. They are ganging up on him, and
yeah, it's got
DINZBAG doing his best. As you said, he almost was able to get enough crowd control, but that Rek'Sai ultimate just
yeah, just smart use of the different tools there, and you know, got a kill's worth of CS over there. Got a kill, got like 4 turret plates. Like it is a landslide over their top lane, but they are getting some advantages over here in the bot lane. They're trying to get this tower here down. They put MaGeRdAnGeR a kind of a lot of effort to kind of push on, but he's kept his farm up too. So
it's so close. Who's gonna get first turret here? It looks like it is gonna be the Syndra is gonna take it down in the end on the top lane. The thing is, look at how many plates. That's 8 plates already taken by Vodortron, and they're able to create a lot of pressure on the map. They do lose the first turret gold, but the amount of plates they've taken, they've more than made up that amount of gold. So Vodortron, even though they gave up the first turret, I would say they are winning this early game in terms of objective control. It's just those kills that came through that are keeping Kimchi boys ahead in the gold lead. As Rodov gets ganked here, does flash away.
Forced to use the flash get out. He's gonna use the ultimate now. MaGeRdAnGeR doesn't come up here. The ultimate's gonna come down and RKO will take him out. 9-6 will pick up the kill on that one there. So nice little pick there for Kimchi boys as Cozy Shroud came down and was able to take out Rodov.
Yeah, that last stand, most likely Cozy Shroud has got that rune, and he is able to do exactly enough damage as he needs to take down Rodov. And they will leverage that, Kimchi boys, into the Ocean Drift, which means Cloud and Ocean have been taken. Mountain Soul on the Rift. And that is going to be very powerful, especially on those champions like Olaf and Maokai who want to go in and try to engage there. They're going to be so tanky if they do manage to get that Mountain Soul. It is very strong. It is so annoying to play against. And
well, exactly. Like especially since you do see a lethality Varus over on the red side there. So if you're the Kimchi boys, the Mountain Soul does look very attractive, as like that poke won't instantly take you out of a fight if you have the Mountain Soul. You probably have enough of a shield at the beginning of the fight to be able to absorb some of the poke. So you're like, it's another condition they kind of want to look after though. Although like Soul didn't end up getting taken in the last game, if my memory serves me correctly.
That's right.
Because it was good job by Kimchi boys to answer kind of a couple early dragons. So we'll see like where these teams send their priority. It does seem like maybe both teams kind of prioritize getting gold more, which is we see a lot of that in pro play, which makes a lot of sense.
Exactly.
So as we are seeing this in this level of play, they do seem to take advantage of that as well.
Yeah. I really like. Oh, here's the gank from 9-6 as I start to say that. Aldrei getting an ultimate here.
Ultimate come there. Aldrei trying to survive, but you're not getting anywhere when the Rek'Sai is ultimating onto you. So good play again. 3-0 quietly. And here go. Yeah, exactly. They're trying to pressure.
Used his flash right at the end there. Sorry, the pressure on the blue buff happening. It is going to get reset. But Aldrei, I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
He used his flash in that fight. Anyway. 9-6-1. Going for the blue buff. Yunbee going to be gifted this one most likely.
Yeah, it'll be kind of going over there. It's starting to kind of get that snowball into Kimchi boys' favor over here, and this is less so of a case of as DINZBAG jumps on top of Cozy Shroud. I don't expect too much to happen after that. They are going to take the mid lane turret, but anyway, this is less so of a game last time where we saw a clear late game team versus a clear early game team. I think these comps are better picked by both teams, where like they both have early game advantages that they're trying to find and they're using and picking very well, but they do have some good scaling on both sides. So it's like it's more going to be more about how these teams play this out more than their actual just straight up team comps. So
Yeah.
let's see where they kind of pull it out there. We do see that Blade of the Rune King now picked up by Sett.
Yeah, I did like Kimchi Boy's draft last game, and they were able to sort of diversify in this game so that they're not just doing the same thing, which you always like to see. But I definitely agree on the side of Vodortron. Love their draft in this game in particular. I would say it's hard to say who won this draft because you want to focus, as I say, that Aldrei getting flashed on again. The red buff.
9-6, you have a terrible summoner name, but you are very good at this game, able to pick up that kill. 4-0-2. Now
popping off
over here.
both games in a row on this Rek'Sai. Clearly, that's gonna be something you're gonna want to think about when you're in your ban phase for the next game if Vodortron do even make it there.
Yeah, if they can probably make that there, or even just thinking about the future. Again, this Rek'Sai was first picked by them. It's very, very high priority, clearly. So 9-6 just like enjoying it right now. Yeah,
exactly. So that's a nice play by him. 4-0-2 already with a 400 gold bounty sitting on his head as Cozy Shroud going to not see DINZBAG there, but he is going to scare him away as Kimchi Boy's going for the Rift Herald.
So they're trying to push through onto that one. Yeah, they're going to be able to likely get that Rift Herald here.
Yeah, they have gotten both already, and you know what, it really is a testament to how effective those pushes were from Vodortron early. Look at the gold differential. It's 2,000 with 7 kills up, and it's just because of all those plates that Vodortron was able to take. Hopefully they can leverage that gold differential into some sort of teamfight success, because now this Rift Herald coming up is just going to put them farther ahead, the Kimchi Boys.
And earlier
comes in.
Yeah, here go DINZBAG trying to make a play over here now, trying to make something happen, trying to turn this back around. 9-6 is pretty fed though. He's going to be able to take him down. 9-6 does pick up the kill on top of them. Can they do anything else? Can they take him down at all? He's just trying to get away. Yunbee will eventually be taken down by Aldrei. The DINZBAG will go down as well. Double kill that comes through 9-6. They had the pick on him, but he's too strong. He's too good. The rest of his team is falling up now. Aldrei's likely to go down here as RKO comes out from Cozy Shroud, takes him down. Rodov's going to be the next target. He's being taken out. Double kill comes through for Cozy Shroud, and that'll be a good 4-for-1 for Kimchi Boys.
Oh, Kimchi Boys, really nice play. 961 doesn't want this action to end, although I don't know what he thinks he's doing over here. He's already used his dash, and he's gonna just get...
about 2-2-2. We'll get the shutdown.
And the Lulu gets the last laugh, and but as you say, the really nice play there by the Kimchi Boys. That teleport in from Maokai, interesting idea. Once again, in this case, I'm not sure you need to go for a crazy, desperate play like that. You've got the Varus, you've got the Malzahar, you can scale into the late game, but they thought they needed to make a team fight happen there. So after those resets, and especially after that kill on Rek'Sai, they are going to be able to get this Mountain Drink, so that is some sort of consolation for them.
Yeah, they'll take it, right? Like what we say in NA all the time, we take those, so they'll take it. But
worth in all chat.
Worth. So I was earlier saying how like I really felt like Vodortron right now have such good team play, and kind of was showing a lot in game one. I feel like that was actually less apparent over here in kind of that fight, that decision for that fight. And right now we're seeing Kimchi Boys actually looking like the team with better team play. And, like, it's easy to look like you have good team play when you just have the gold lead, which is kind of what's happening. But you're seeing very good decisive action. They've gotten all the Rift Heralds and all that jazz. And right now, like, they just are right now they're utilizing some good gold and making that. Meanwhile, a top lane gank is going to come over here. Rodov, goodbye, my dude. You're not playing a bruiser like you normally play, and you're just melted instantly.
Interesting itemization, actually, from Rodov. I don't... I've seen some people go for Lost Chapter and then straight into that Leandri's Torment and
DINZBAG.
Rylays as DINZBAG getting caught out. He is pretty tanky. He's a tanky boy.
Yeah, he's getting the tankiness. But there's 3 people here. He's going to get stunned up. He's being knocked up. He's being taken down. 9-6 will get his 7th kill of the game. And, man, we talked a lot about Rodov and Yunbee and Cozy Shroud. And meanwhile, 9-6 is just going, hey, I'm going to carry this team.
Yeah. Well, sorry. Who was your player to watch?
Yeah.
Next time it's going to be me, baby. So
Maybe if he had a better summoner name. I'm gonna never not call him.
We're about to take him up on this. What are you trying to do here? What does that number mean?
961. That's too many numbers. Anyway, I will stop complaining about it.
That's all right.
Because you're winning, and
Everyone's
like
clear
honestly,
on our position on that name.
I just want to be absolutely clear. I think it's a garbage summoner name, but you're good at League of Legends, so you do what you do.
Oh man, yeah. So that was DINZBAG getting caught out, Rodolph getting caught out. As you say, really nice team play here coming in from Kimchi boys. They're able to just move around the map more effectively in this game, and that is thanks to that Rek'Sai applying pressure everywhere on the map.
Oh yeah.
2 dragons taken by Vodortron, and they're going to get their 3rd turret here as well. But Kimchi boys still firmly in the lead here with a 4,000 gold.
And here we are seeing like a team not ready to just kind of give up. They are picking up the top lane turret over right now and just kind of continuing on with this push. They're trying to make a comeback here, right? Like they aren't just kind of sitting back. That one fight they took in the mid lane again, I think was really questionable, where they did try to jump on 9-6. He's the fed one. He's, you know, you wanted to get that shutdown bonus. Unfortunately, he ended up getting it on Lulu, but it wasn't the right time. But that kind of a decision where you can kind of see where everyone is on the map, picking up that top lane turret. That's smart there by Vodortron, and that's kind of their way to pick up this game, is using the map and using vision.
Yeah, the thing is, you with an Olaf, what you want to do is you just get into that back line. But if you're taking too much damage, you run towards Ezreal or Syndra, and you've gotten down to 10% HP by the time you even get there. It's just not enough to do enough damage to take them down, and so that Olaf, even with the Lulu ult, has not been effective here.
Yeah. The kind of scary thing is, whereas last game you were like, okay, they just need to find some picks. This game, it's going to be really hard to find some picks. Meanwhile, about to maybe the one about to get picked. Rodolph actually over the top lane using his ultimate, but there's 3 people there. Cozy Shroud pick at that one. Re-engage happening over in the bottom lane, or rather the mid lane over here. 96126 to be able to pick up 1 kill. Gonna try to chase for some more. Gonna see if he can hit some rockets over in there, but we'll actually just back off.
We'll have to back off. And there you saw exactly what I was talking about. Even though Olaf didn't go down there, you saw him running at the back line, and by the time he got there, he's like, oh, I don't have enough HP to fight anymore. So he had to run straight the way he came, and he ended up going down as well. So MaGeRdAnGeR not being effective on this Olaf pick, and they have to go for some sort of absolute miracle here.
Yeah.
Will the Lulu pull out? Nope.
Nope.
That's not going to happen.
Not today. DINZBAG will go down. Yunbee will pick up that kill. About 2-2 is going to be the next target. 9-6 looking for that 9th kill to match the first digit in his name. But the rest of the team over here, they might just try to take it. No, he will get it. So 9-1-2 now on this Rek'Sai.
Yes, indeed. And wow, this is far more one-sided than the first game even. It is just so dominant here. Vodortron has been focusing on this dragon control early game, and they haven't gotten anything out of it because they're sacrificing way too much.
Yeah.
They're getting behind in situations where they, where they need to be getting ahead with these compositions they're choosing. So that 4th dragon coming up, and at this point they can't even fight for it.
Yeah, it's a bit tough when you pick the just go forward composition, which it looks almost unstoppable when you are that ahead, but you're just really not. And while the last game, again, there did seem to be a window for Vodortron to get back into this one, that window doesn't look very big this time around, unfortunately.
No, definitely one of those tiny little basement windows that nobody's opened in many years. That's what this window is for them. And they are going for some sort of death push here. It looks like there is the potential for this to actually work, as Cozy Shroud not aware. He is moving further up in lane, and will they engage on him here? He's
you gotta be thinking, we don't see anyone on the map while we're pushing in the mid lane, and they're gonna probably pick up this kill. He does it. He's gonna try to trade for it. He won't get that 1 kill, so they will get the shutdown, but they're losing an inhibitor for that?
Yeah, I mean, like you say, you gotta do something. Whether that's the thing you gotta do, I don't know. They do lose an inhibitor here 23 minutes in, and that kill goes down onto, who did it go down onto? I believe the Olaf got that shutdown. So that will allow him to get that Spectre's Cowl, try to mitigate some of this burst from the Syndra, and yep, they trade Sett for an inhibitor. I think Kimchi boys will take it.
Yeah, you take that. Well, and the tier 2 actually. So they got like
indeed. Yeah, a turret
yeah,
is yeah,
so
turrets as well. Yeah.
just way too much stuff here. Now they're trying to goon squad over here into the mid lane here. Maybe they're thinking maybe we just play some NA around, and maybe that'll work out for us.
It's hard to imagine it will, but yeah, you gotta try it, and they will not successfully get this. The super minion comes in and is just so strong. That is huge damage already from that Ezreal.
Yeah, just half health from the Ezreal ult. And here
Rek'Sai
goes
goes in.
They're trying to jump on for that. Will the team follow up? It looks like they will take down Aldrei first. They will at least trade that kill. It will be a 1-for-1 for now as the Lulu does pick up that one. But AM Owner will pick up their go 2-for-1 and likely the rest of this game, because I don't really know what Vodortron's going to be able to do.
2-for-1, yeah. You know what? I saw some kind of twinkle in Rek'Sai's eye. I don't know how I saw it, but it looked like he wanted to go ham again, man, and he did. And yeah, this is looks like it's going to be the game. That is the super minion taken down, and they don't have the wave, so potentially they will force them back one more time. Kimchi boys sort of posturing inside the base here, but they are going to go back and start clearing out the jungle, start getting that vision, and huge engage there from 961 there. That is pro gamer move.
Pro gamer move. Yeah, just trying to jump in there, trying to end the game right away, which is like something that you do see some people hesitate on when you kind of have this kind of a big lead. But it's smart of them, honestly, to not. Again, we're talking about what is the outside chance that Vodortron does get back in this game, and that is some late game scaling. Like they have some of that. You do have the lethality build on the Varus, which is less good late game than say the Blade of the Rune King build and all that jazz. But honestly, you can get a pick. You can make some stuff happen. So that was Rek'Sai just trying to end the game sooner.
Yeah, exactly. They saw the opportunity, and they did get a good trade out of it. So I don't see anything particularly wrong with what 961 did in that situation. They're gonna go for this death bush again. I don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't think you want to trade your top inhibitor now and be two inhibitors down.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Oh man, if we just keep waiting
sitting
in this
there.
bush, Kimchi boys are sort of approaching this area, and they may have a little bit more spidey senses tingling in this situation, but
Yunbee now you get the ultimate onto them and take them down. Lulu picks up the shutdown.
Come on.
Off these kills apparently, but 9-6 has now made its way over the fight. Is just gonna force them back off as they're gonna go seed now onto this tier 2 turret.
Kimchi boys, why did that work again?
Why did that work again?
Lulu just, you know,
Chad supports.
Using that righteous glory to run out of the, or Shirelia's reverie, I should say, to run out of the bush and get that ultimate CC down onto the Syndra, who had no flash in that fight. And yeah, I mean, you know, this time they didn't have to trade anything, so
yeah, you got the shutdown again. Kind of the important. As much as I love talking about Chad support about you too. You do have the issue of like, man, you kind of just wish that went on to Varus or Rodon, right? But we take those, like I said.
We definitely take those. I'll agree with that.
And to be fair, man, as much as we were talking about how this feels like a landslide for Kimchi boys, technically the last two fights have gone in Vodortron's favor, right?
Yeah,
they got a couple picks here. Again, 9-6 going in kind of in the mid lane. They were kind of to get a little bit of advantage there, so we'll see where it goes here. But they can't really contest this Baron, so they are just going to move over towards this Dragon and at least try to get that and have the Dragon and maybe have a Soul Wing condition. But they got to do a lot of defense.
Yeah, unless this Ezreal ult, no, that's not going to do anything. So they do trade for the Dragon, and as you said earlier, Malzahar now having completed that Liandry's is able to wave clear very effectively, especially with those Voidlings available to attack those Malefic Visions on the super minions. So even with the Varus lethality build, he still has decent wave clear as well. So they can hold out for quite a while here. And Rek'Sai not getting particularly stronger at this stage of the game, now has completed that Gargoyle Stone Plate, and you can see where he wants to go with this. Now he's trying to engage and then be this beefy front line so that Ezreal and Syndra can get the damage down. But as far as the damage profile, if we get to the very late game where everyone's approaching full build, Vodortron definitely does have more damage overall.
And more tankiness. Kind of
yes,
in general.
indeed. Yeah.
Like, yeah.
They've got better late game stats, and so that is what Vodortron's trying to do. They're gonna have to give up this inhibitor. 9-6 going in again. The Taric goes down.
Yeah, it does use Taric ult to just basically zone them away from it so they can get this inhibitor. So, you know, you gotta kind of give that up if you're Vodortron, but good play by Kimchi boys to make sure they got that. It does leave them with pressure on the map. They do have a split push as DINZBAG is pushing down that bottom turret. They're trying to at least get that back in trade for that, but they will start sieging over onto this top lane.
Yeah, and they still do have that Baron buff available, so this top lane turret is not long for this world. Goes down. Cozy Shroud is taking a lot of damage from that Malzahar.
There is Yunbee trying to answer the ult for the other side, but the Lulu ult will save this Varus. Rodolph will actually pick up the first kill on that one. Owner is going to be able to trade that back over to the other side. DINZBAG, he will pick up another kill as well. The fight continues on as 9-6 is now jumping over to the back line, but he will go down low. He will pick up one kill, but will he get over his life? He will not. Rodolph will be able to take that down, and here we go. 3 for 2 now in favor for Vodortron, and is the late game active?
Is what I'm talking about.
Is Tron been activated?
Is Tron have the parts come together, and the 3 items already coming in on Malzahar. That's the Luden's Echo, Leandri's, and Void Staff. Lots of magic penetration, just shredding down those tanks here with his Malefic Visions. And they are, I think you might be right, Johnny. I think late game might have arrived just in time for Vodortron.
We were just saying how it felt like maybe there was no hope kind of going here. We do see a quick Silver Sash picked up by the Syndra now. Smart buy, by the way.
Yes.
But yeah, we were saying how like it looked like there was maybe no hope, but like maybe we spoke too soon. And I was saying to you how like 9-6 was trying to make a big engage to try to end the game right away, because I think 9-6 knew that this could potentially happen if they kind of just like sat back and let it go. But again, I'm saying that there's an inhibitor down, there's an open inhibitor at top. It's still pretty sketchy, but
that's right.
You picked up a 3 for 2 while the other team had Baron. Retake those.
yeah. This is the motto of this game is retake for Vodortron. And yeah, like you say, is it too late? Did Vodortron or did Kimchi boys do enough to beat this team, even though the late game damage is online? Now, if they get a certain amount of kills, if they win a team fight, likely Kimchi boys win the game, because there are not enough defensive structures available for Vodortron to stop that push. But if Vodortron manages to hold out till the Mountain Drake and get that soul, which they are on soul point right now, that last Mountain Drake is on deck for them, then we are talking about almost an advantageous game state for Vodortron, because there's only one turret in the mid lane for Kimchi boys anyway. So if they get a clean ace with their better damage, potentially they could end the game.
Your Rodolph does see 9-6 there. The silence them up there. They're looking to siege onto this inhibitor. Do they give this one up this time around? Sett is not with them currently over into the bot lane. I believe that Vodortron would have saw that Sett is over there as well, that he's not currently there. So good poke coming through right now from Aldrei, is forcing them off, and this composition's coming together right now for Vodortron.
Definitely, yeah. That Ezreal and Syndra, they are in their late game form, but they are not tanky. They will take a lot of damage from that lethality build. And so we will see what they're able to do here. They have easily fought off this push, except I say that now flooding into the base are Kimchi boys.
Yeah, here we go. They're now jumping out to get that inhibitor to about half. But they're going to back up. Both teams playing a little bit timid right now, and really it's hard to blame them, because right now you're feeling like it should be Kimchi boys' game. This is their game to lose, really, so they don't want to lose it by over-pushing.
Yeah, Sett now playing the bottom lane as the ult comes down.
Yeah, Rodolph trying to ultimate on top of them. The Taric ult will come through and make them fall right back, and now they're trying to push it through here. Now Malzahar is going to eventually go down as they're trying to push on through. Yunbee will pick up that kill. They're going to continue now. They do get the inhibitor. That's 2 inhibitors down now for Vodortron. See if they can continue to defend. They're just going to be continuing the siege over here as they're trying to get the minions onto these Nexus turrets. They're pushing it onto them now. What can Vodortron do? Trying to find something out without their big mid laner right now. And here comes the ultimate from DINZBAG. Gonna root up a couple of them, but they're not going to be able to follow up because he's kind of missing a lot of their damage. Here comes the big fight now. They're jumping into in the middle, and Yunbee will pick up DINZBAG. That's their tank. He's gone. Cozy Shroud will jump in, take him out. Aldrei will get melted. About to 2. You're the last one left. It's not going to be enough, and there we go. Kimchi boys found the engage they need it, and will take this series 2-0.
Oh, that is such a heartbreak for Vodortron. They just gave themselves enough hope to be ultimately disappointed at the end.
Yeah.
And a really nice engage finally at the end from Kimchi Boys. Really beautiful play from them. They look really good. We expected them to. We knew these were the highest ranked players in this league. We know that they know each other. They've played together, and they showed it here. They are just so good right now.
Yeah, and everything that's kind of come together, it was honestly kind of well played by Vodortron to try to come back, but they can't lose the early game as much as they have been. So we're going to throw it out to the Red Bull analyst desk. You've heard enough of my voice today. I'm Johnny Esports. Thanks for joining me. Wes Rambo, thanks for being my color commentator.
Thank you.
And yeah, we'll throw it to Red Bull analyst desk, and boys, take it over.
All right, welcome to the Red Bull analyst desk. Quite the series coming out from Kimchi Boys. And I do want to point out the early Maokai ban in game 1, taking it away from DINZBAG. How do you think that affected the first game?
For me, like I know that my eye was on Rodov and Yunbee, how they were gonna play this series. But I think the thing that I really should have thought about prior is how DINZBAG is going to be involved in these games today. Because he is going against a challenger player in Cozy, which was really prominent in today's game about the difference of influence that those players had in the series today. So I think DINZBAG, when he got the Cho'Gath, he certainly was going to have a tough time in lane, at least with the Maokai. You can stall the lane a bit. You could farm the CS. If they want to dive you under tower, it's really hard to kill Maokai, which Sett and Rek'Sai, even though they were getting to him, it actually took them, it was very close dives. Like they probably could have lost those if Dins would have made a little more different micro trades. But I think taking away the Maokai in game 1 was detrimental to DINZBAG being able to scale and influence the game for the first one. We saw in the second one that it still didn't really make a difference in lane because it was against Sett, which was a very poor matchup. Which I don't like that that they left Sett open and they're taking Maokai, especially first pick Maokai. But if at least Maokai was able to influence the game a lot more than Cho'Gath did in game 1, so I think him banning Maokai was a good choice for Kimchi Boys.
Yeah, and we do see a lot of early aggression going towards that top side from Kimchi Boys, even so far as to lane swapping Yunbee on that rise into the top side against DINZBAG. What are your thoughts on that, Stefano?
I think that was a really smart move. If you look at the team comp first thing, Cho'Gath gets dove pretty easily, especially against a Rek'Sai. And once Rise is ahead, once you get that, that machine gun Rise, you get that HP. You saw he got the Merc Treads. Not only is he going to kill your whole team, but he can't be hit while doing that the whole time. He's so hard to get onto. You saw in the first game, they had to blow everything consistently. You were seeing Rodov on the Renekton and flashing, try to get that flash W. Saw he even itemized against the Rise. He built the Bork first, so the triple hit of the Renekton W would take out as much HP as possible. But they had to blow everything just to kill the Rise. And while that's happening, then Varus is just free hitting you. It was the on hit Varus. You have crap ton of DPS. A Rise being ahead like that, he had Seraphs and Rod by 20 minutes. The game was essentially over then. There was no way you were going to come back from that. That getting the Rise ahead, the swap was so smart. The Rise being ahead mattered so much in the context of that game.
Yeah, the funny thing too, to go off that, Stefano, is like even if you look at our I was mentioning this to you guys earlier, but if you look at our slides earlier on the Twitch stream, in between games, we said power pick for Kimchi Boys is Yunbee on Rise, and yet he got it first game. I'm surprised that Vodortron didn't respect it enough. I don't know if they thought they had the answer with having a Renekton to deal a little bit earlier. I mean, it was Cho'Gath into Rise because that's how Kimchi Boys wanted to play the lanes. But it just, like Rek'Sai and Rise were able to shut down, Rek'Sai and it was Rek'Sai and Rise were able to shut down the Cho'Gath. You're letting Rise scale for free. You have no answer. I believe MaGeRdAnGeR was paying attention to Rodov in mid for the most part. Cho'Gath got like little to no help. So if you're going to leave Cho'Gath on an island against a Rise and there's a Rek'Sai dominating him, you're kind of digging your own grave at that point. You can't allow that to happen against a Rise. And at that point, you don't pick Cho'Gath. If you're worried about a scaling laner from the opposing team. So yeah, I was a little kind of iffy on Vodortron's draft for game one, and especially after watching game one, I personally didn't realize how well 9-8 was it 9-6 or 9-8. I keep messing the numbers up.
9-1.
9-1. What? Yeah, that Mr. Numbers man, the jungler for Kimchi Boys. He absolutely dominated the game for me. I think he was the player of the games 1 and 2, like kind of throwing that out there right now. I think he controlled topside so well in game 1. He suffocated out Cho'Gath. He suffocated out Vodortron to have any ability to fight topside at all. And unfortunately, Vodortron's bottom lane wasn't able to do much. It was against an Alistar, and they had the Braum, so it's not like you're going to be engaging with Braum into that and fighting a lot. So it's like the weight that Kimchi Boys was able to place on top side, and Vodortron was not able to balance it out on bottom side. I think MaGeR and Rodov were really trying mid to get themselves ahead there. But even though Renekton got big, he's not going to carry the game for you on his own. He needs a little bit of support. He needs some damage. Like Sivir did not have the damage. Like there was that fight mid lane, I think around 20 minutes, where Renekton was trying to dive, get to the back lane. Sivir was not putting out any damage at all. She had an Infinity Edge, and I think she was building, I can't remember what she was building next, but she was not able to kill that Aatrox. Aatrox was just healing up all her damage, and Renekton was by himself. He couldn't do much. So I think just game one especially, Kimchi Boys played the map a lot better, had a better draft, and Vodortron was not able to respond at all.
Yeah, a lot of pressure going towards that top side, but Vodortron do get the early game dragon pressure, getting both dragons for the early game in both games, but unable to translate that into game wins. What do you think went wrong for them in that regard?
I gotta say, early dragons don't mean a lot. I have to keep going back to it. When a rise is that massive, the rise continually in the first game was able just to power through people and kill them. Like, yeah, sure, you get, I think it was an early Cloud Drake and an early Fire Drake off the top of my head. Like, yeah, that's cool. You move a little bit faster, do more damage, but you get 4% more damage. But that rise was one-shotting everyone. It doesn't matter. The early dragons don't matter if there's going to be that large of a sway on the other side of the map. I think it was really, really smart by Kimchi Boys to recognize that. They said, hey, look, our win condition, it's either to get Rise or to get Varus ahead. That's all that matters. Dragons don't really matter. We can worry about that later after we get our hyper carries ahead. And that's exactly what they did. 9-8 put his whole game into the top lane and got that Rise ahead. And sure enough, the dragons didn't end up mattering. The two dragons, the Voltron God didn't, like, who cares? Like, it didn't have almost any effect on the grand scheme of the game.
I totally agree. I do want, going back to that well, exactly, Stefano. I just think that they weren't, like, Vodortron just didn't draft in a way or play in a manner, additionally, to deal with Yunbee's rise. And 9-8, he saw that, or 9-6, I don't know, jungler from KB, he knew exactly what he had to do to get his team ahead to win the game, and he did it. He executed it very well. It's not to say that MaGeRDANGER didn't play jungle well. He did do his job too, but it just, he didn't focus on that rise enough for me. And I know he was trying to get Rodov ahead. Rodov's their star player too, for Vodortron. They want to get him ahead, get him capable, but they let Yunbee get way too comfortable that game. So even those early dragons, like you were saying, King, doesn't mean nothing if you're going to let a scaling champion and a very skilled player get that champion, play him for free.
All right, and one last thing I want to touch on before we leave for the weekend. Varus being a highly contested pick. 2 different build paths in each game, though. First game opting for that on-hit Varus build. Second game going for the lethality poke build. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
I agree with actually that both players did the right build at each time. For the first game, owner on the Varus. The on-hit build was, I would argue, just the objectively correct build. He was hitting 2 huge front lines, and more importantly, you need the DP. They needed the DPS because they knew that they knew ahead of the game that their plan was to get the Rise ahead. And they knew once they got the Rise ahead, everything was going for the Rise. And Lethality Varus is very good at poking, but it doesn't have the same level of DPS. Lethality Varus most of the time isn't going to win you a team fight. It'll win the team fight before it actually starts, but the DPS Varus is going to destroy in a team fight if it's left alone, and that's exactly what ended up happening. The Varus was left alone in the first game, and he was able to go through it. As for the second game, I would also say the lethality was good for the second. Lethality was the right choice in the second game. There wasn't really any big tanks for the Varus to have to try to shred. He just tried to get lethality. Tried to get the lethality in order to poke out the Syndra, in order to poke out the Ezreal. Even the Sett would have taken a lot of damage if the Varus would have been, on the same level in terms of power relative to the Sett. But I would argue it's still a good call. You can argue that maybe lethality isn't great if you have an Ardent support, but it was very heads up play by, I think the support player was Drew, or forgetting exactly how to pronounce it, but
Yeah,
he
I do
didn't.
too, actually.
He didn't go for the Ardent. He was smart, built the Redemption, built the Shrelias, 2 items that can be used either offensively or defensively to protect the Varus or to help your front line in the Olaf Maokai. Obviously didn't end up working out the game, but I don't think it was because the Varus wasn't because the Varus built. I would argue that in the second game, the bot lane for Vander played it as good as they could have been given the situation.
Yeah, I echo you, Stefano, on that. I don't like I do agree that if you are going to have an Ardent support, you probably don't want to be going lethality, but lethality was an okay build given the composition. Maybe Lulu wasn't the right choice, and if you're going to go Varus there, maybe Varus isn't the right choice. If it was me, I don't think you go Varus in that specific comp, because I think Lulu is the right choice at that point in the draft. I think Lulu was a great pick. I don't know if I like the Varus as much. I think you had a lot of other tools to deal with it. Especially if they're going to be trying to dive you with the Sett and the Rek'Sai. They just want to dive all day. They want to get to Malzahar. They want to get to the Varus. Pick an AD carry at that point that can avoid that. Use Lulu to your advantage there, right? Instead of Lulu having to focus on peeling your Varus, let her focus on peeling the Malzahar. If they would have peeled the Malzahar, if Malzahar had more time to do damage, even though he was 0-4, late game, he was tearing him up, right? Like, I think it was a little bit of a questionable play from Robot at the very last play of the game when he flashed to get the lockdown with his R. No one followed up with him, and that's where they lost. But if Roda was able to spend a lot more time getting his silences out, getting his disease to go and tag everyone, I think that if he would have had that extra peel from Lulu, where Lulu's not worried about Varus, he easily could have carried the fights a little bit harder as the game extended. So yeah, I think a different AD carry, Xayah, something like that, would have been probably a better pick there.
That actually brings up a point. In both games, Vander, we both, or all three of us, thought that maybe they didn't pick the best AD carries. The Sivir in the first game seemed very out of place in their team comp and against the enemy team. In the first game, the Sivir ulti not necessarily empowering a lot of people on his team to go fast. His team comp wasn't really built around a engage heavy or disengage heavy. Additionally, the Sivir wasn't really able to free hit anything. Like Rise was a huge threat he had to go against. Has actually more range than the Sivir. Same with the Varus. He wasn't able to hit a lot. He had, as you mentioned, he wasn't able to do a lot of damage at the 20 minutes he had at IE Essence Reaver, and he was hitting the Aatrox, but the Aatrox is just able to drain tank through it. It didn't seem like Sivir was the good pick in the first game, and in the second game, Varus I don't think was the right one either.
All right, thank you guys. Sounds like we agree that Vodortron needs to work on their draft issues for their next match. Thank you guys for being on the Red Bull Analyst Desk, and thank you at home for watching the stream. That'll be it from us tonight. Please check out the links below, all of our Instagram posts and Twitter feed, and be sure to tune in next week on Saturday at 7 p.m. Central Time.
Kang, before we go, I want to make one more point.
Yeah.
I also want to say that even though I talked about Rodov and Yunbee, that I work with them, I coach them. I feel so bad. I hope my boy, no one. I hope no one tells him that I didn't say anything. Justin, just in time, right? I coached him too. One of my boys. I love that guy. I can't believe I forgot to mention that I worked with him. But he's an amazing player. I got to give him props to that Alistair in game one. It's kind of a it's not a meme, but we used to play a lot of Alistair, and he would be hot or cold with it a lot. But we love his Alistair, and when he made that play at Dragon, got the 4-man knockup, that was huge. I loved it.
Oh, he
I
was
think we're gonna
money.
have a highlight of that later to post on our social media. So just want to give the shout out to Justin. Sorry, brother. I hope that you're not too upset with me.
All right, getting that quick shout out in the last minute. Thank you guys at home for watching. This has been the Manitoba Esports League. Be sure to tune in next time.